Hi, I'm Heather Quinn. I'm your 2022 WE-ILC chair. I'm also your yoga instructor today. So today we're going to do 12-minute yoga, and we're going to do a version of this that includes both standing and laying down on the ground and sitting on the ground. So we're just going to start with just a little bit of bouncing around. So this is kind of a Tai Chi type of movement called shaking the tree, and it just releases tension from your body. So you can really shake it out as much as you want. The music's a little quiet, so I'm going a little slow myself. But we just want to get a little warmed up, maybe bounce around a little bit, and get ready to do some yoga. So this is a specific routine that's designed for the prevention of osteoporosis and osteopenia. It's scientifically studied at this point. There's been a number of studies that have shown that this particular set of poses can reverse the signs of osteoporosis and osteopenia. The trick is you have to do it every day. It's 12 minutes when you get good at it. And what I hope is that really everybody's got 12 minutes of their day to spend doing yoga. Now, I'm just wearing my normal skinny jeans that are a little bit too tight, and I've got a blanket down on the ground. So there's no need for special clothes, there's no need for special music or special mats or anything. You can just do this wherever. We will use a strap for some of the poses on the ground, but you don't need to have a strap. You can use a scarf or a belt. So just another few moments of this. Okay, let's get started with our first pose today. So I do have this timer on. You might hear the buzz every once in a while. We're going to start off in tree pose on the right foot. So we'll start with the left foot pointed to the side. You can leave it there if you want, or place your left foot any place on the inside of the right leg. And then hands where you want them to be. We're going to release this left leg, just a quick shake out. We'll bring the weight onto the left leg, and then we point the right foot to the side or any place on the inside of the leg. Now, if you tend to wobble a little bit with the balance, first of all, that's normal. Second of all, you can tighten this left glute, and it'll help stabilize you just a little bit. We'll release the hands, release the legs. We're going into triangle pose. We're spreading the feet, the hips are to the side. The left foot's turned in, the right foot's turned out. And we're going to bring this right hand down by the right foot. And you'll notice this hand's just loose. It doesn't need to be serious, but we don't want to put any pressure on that knee. We'll come back up and we're going to switch our feet. So this time the left foot's turned out, the right foot's turned in. And we're going to bring this left hand down by the left foot. And this side's a little stiff for me tonight. So this might be true for you. You have a stiff side, you have a loose side, it's all good. We'll come back up and we're switching into a warrior two. So the hips are still to the side. We've got our right knee bent now. We have arms to shoulder height if that feels comfortable. So this music's by Fred Westra, and he is the patron saint of yoga instructors. He has made so much music available to yoga instructors, usually royalty free, so that we can do videos like this. And so this is a special album that I bought from him for this particular purpose, and I'm really appreciative of all of Fred's work around this. And let's switch onto the other side. So now that left foot's turned out, the left knee is bent. And so I hope everybody checks out Fred's work. He's a Hungarian artist and composer. You can find him on Spotify. And he's just a wonderful human being. We'll bring the hands down to the hips. We're going to switch back into our warrior two for a moment, and then we're leaning into our extended side ankle pose. So that right forearm comes down to the right thigh, left arm overhead. And the trick is always to bring those right ribs down towards the thigh. We'll come back up and we switch sides. So we switch the feet first. We're in our warrior two, and then we reach out for that extended side ankle pose. We now have the right arm overhead. And we'll come back up. We have one last standing pose. It is a revolved triangle. So we're going to turn, we have the legs straight. We're going to turn the torso towards this right leg. We have left arm down, right arm up. And this is a very challenging pose. So feel free to come up just a little bit. So you'll notice there's going to be a lot of twists and a lot of back extension and not a lot of back flexion, because that is counterindicated for osteoporosis or osteopenia. And so the back extension and the twists help us build strength. And we'll come up and we'll switch feet, extending now over that left leg and raising the right hand. So we want that back extension and the twist to build up strength in the back to help reverse that curve. Many of you might have seen older women with that hump that can develop, and that's called the dowager hump. So we don't want that to happen to people. We'll release the twist and come back up. We're going to transition down to the ground now. We're heading down to our stomach. So I like to come down on my knees first and then stretch out. We're going to do a locust pose. We've got the hands underneath the shoulders, and we just lift the hands and the feet just ever so slightly. We'll release for a moment. We have one more of these left, and we'll switch into a different pose. So coming back up, hovering the hands and the feet. If you'd like to, you can bring the arms out to the sides. Just don't overtax your back. And then we'll release. We're going to roll onto our backs so that we can do a bridge pose. So we have the feet by the hips, the head down on the mat, hands by the hips, and we'll lift the hips up. So a little bit more work of the back to hold the hips up. We'll release the hips. We have one more bridge to do. So maybe adjusting the feet just a little bit. And then we'll lift the hips again. We'll release the hips back down to the mat. I'm going to grab my strap. It's right here by my hand. And we're going to take our right foot and put it in the strap. If you can hold on to the foot, feel free to. I can't, especially not in skinny jeans. So part of the reason why we're doing a lot of these poses on the ground is that it stabilizes the back and the hips. And so this is essentially a one-legged forward fold, but from a reclining position, and the recline keeps us from rounding that back forward. So like I said before, we never want to round the leg for round the back for osteoporosis. And now let's switch out those legs. We grab this left leg and stretch out the right leg. Bend the knee, release that left leg. We have another hamstring stretch on the other side. So grabbing this right foot again, if you can find it, and then open up the hip to the side. Now, I brought that left foot back onto the ground and I'm stretching out this left arm because it's counterbalancing the leg coming down. So we want both hips and both shoulders on the ground, because doing this will just release the pose. So it won't actually help any more to bring that leg down. We'll bring the leg back up to center. We'll release the leg and we'll switch into that left leg. And so once you get your strap or your belt, we open off to the left. So same thing, now we're using that right foot and right hand to counterbalance the left leg and arm. We'll bring the left leg back up, release the strap, and now holding onto the back of this thigh, we're going to use it to help us roll up. We have 2 twists to do now. So first we're going to tuck this left leg underneath, right leg on top, sit up straight, twist to the right. So for many years we believed twisting was verboten for osteoporosis and osteopenia patients because there was a fear that the twisting action would hurt the vertebrae. So we'll switch legs. And so now right is underneath, left is on top, and we twist to the left. But the truth of the matter is twisting's fine. The problem with twisting is when you use your hands and then really crank on your spine. And so if you use your arms for support only, you'll get the benefits of the twisting without the damage from over twisting. We'll release. We're going to repeat, but this time if you want the bottom leg to be straight, you can. Sometimes it just feels a little different. You can flex that left foot, press into the ground with the right foot. We'll release the twist and then switch the legs. So now we've got the left leg crossed over and we twist to the left. We'll release the twist. And so we end our 12-minute yoga with 1 minute of meditation. So let's roll down safely to the ground. You can just lay on the ground, whatever's comfortable. For me, I do not like the traditional Shavasana pose for relaxation. It hurts my elbows, so I just like to place my hands on my stomach, and then I can breathe into my hands. A really nice thing about the breath and focusing on just the breath is that it is always in the present moment. It is nowhere else at the same time, right? You cannot breathe into the past, you can't breathe into the future. So let's breathe into the present together. To finish off our meditation, we just gently roll to our side and then use our hands to bring ourselves back up to an easy seated position. We'll bring our hands up to heart center, connecting to our hearts, thanking ourselves for giving ourselves a little moment today to focus on ourselves and our health. The divine in me recognizes the divine in you, and that means namaste. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Take care.